Yes.
Oh no, that was the first. No, it was the other one.
That was
It
the year
was
before,
from
wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
Grinkfest 3.
yeah. There we go. There's Mark and yeah.
We're live, by the way.
Yeah,
We're live. So here we go.
Hey guys.
What? This is going very well.
The highbrow show.
Hello and welcome to the Arcade Hangout episode number 94. I am Mark Whip, one of your hosts for today's show, and a bunch of arcade collectors like to meet once a week and chat about collecting classic arcade games. This week we're going to go around the room real quick and get everybody to answer tonight's question. And tonight's question is, what game have you restored where you've hurt yourself fairly badly, I guess, or any amount at all? So let's go to.
That sounded kind of desperate. Just
Well, I
any
wasn't
injury.
sure if anybody's actually hurt themselves. We never really asked anybody if they've hurt
Yeah,
themselves.
that's true.
So let's go to Griffin, since he likes to hurt himself.
I actually do have a little bit of an injury story. I mean, I think everybody's hurt their back at least trying to move games. But I was doing a restoration where I was using a jigsaw to do some wood cutting, and I just blew the end off this piece of wood real quick, and then for some reason I had to change hands, and so I passed the jigsaw into my left hand, and the chuck, the jig, I don't know what do you call the actual sled part that holds the blade there? Is it I guess it's the chuck.
Blade
really,
holder.
isn't it?
There you go.
The blade holder up and downy bit was still going, and when I passed it over, I put my finger in between the top of that and the body of the jigsaw, and it just came up full force, and it just crushed my finger right between the body of the jig. And there's so much torque on that thing, obviously, right? For sawing of the woods and stuff. Yes, I am a master woodsmith. It just kept going. It just fucking destroyed my finger. It crushed it. So there was that. I mean, I probably hurt myself all kinds of other ways. This stupid hobby. Tonight, I walked past my Warlord's cocktail, and some of the feet don't have those little plastic caps on the end. So it's just the cross-section of the metal channel. And dude, I took a slice off the end of my little toe, like a deli meat slice. It just boom, took it clean off. Look at it. I'm gonna stick my toe up in the air right here. Let's see if I can do it.
Jesus! This is like a C-Barb moment.
Did your caddy?
Genuine British blood right there.
All right,
So,
so Milestar sells fucking caps for that thing. Go get some new caps for like $14 and replace all of them.
I know.
Fuck that. Real men don't put caps on the end of their Warlord's cocktails.
Yes,
why it's called
shipping's $24 though.
Yeah. Right? So, yeah.
But they're new
look,
old
it's still
stock.
bleeding again. It started bleeding again. Oh, anyway. So,
Bloody
yeah.
toe, Griffin.
Very topical injury right there. I did it specifically for the show, so I'd have something to talk about.
That's some dedication.
You're welcome. All right, passing it on to Mark.
Whoa.
Ooh, we got good echo.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a restoration. If I can talk about my MAME cabinet, building that because I built it from scratch.
Yeah, that counts.
If that counts.
Yep.
When I was putting the T molding in, you know how like when you go around the corners, you got to cut with a blade, wedges out of it, so you can make the turn around when you're putting in the T molding. You know the sticks in the wood. Yeah, you got to cut some of that out. So I have like this thick blade that like cuts carpet, you know, and I'm cutting it. And I have my hand here, and I slipped and went whop right across my palm. So.
Oh
yeah, so that was a fun one, but I had a real close call of almost turning on my friend turning on the router, and while I was changing the blades.
Oh shit!
That's a good friend.
Yeah.
Alright,
He was testing plugs because he needed a plug, and he's checking what plugs are into what, and he turned it on while I had it in my hand and went, no.
That was Paul, wasn't it?
No, you haven't met him. I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah. So that would have made my fingers into linguine, I think. So. Yeah.
Routers are terrifying.
Yes, they're pretty scary. You gotta baby them.
Yeah.
But just think, you could have put T-molding in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like variable speed routers are a reasonably new invention, like in the last sort of 15-20 years. Like if you had a handheld router before that, those things just came on at 100%. You hit that trigger, and that thing went from zero to kill you in 0.2 seconds. Bad
entry. In fact, on arcadecontrols.com, one guy did that happened to him. He was working on his router, changing the blade or something, and it came on, or he accidentally flipped the switch without unplugging it. And he showed the aftermath of all the blood and the gashes in his hand, and he had to be rushed to emergency. It was what's that?
It happens with angle grinders because they have a lock. So you can turn it on, but because you use them for so long, there's a lock. When you push the on switch a little bit further, it locks on. And then some people just unplug them. And then they go back, plug them in, and all of a sudden they're...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Off they go.
I always, when I'm changing a blade or a bit or anything, I always pull the plug.
Yeah, that's good. That's
that's pro tip. But like, didn't you already did that? Like someone else plugged it in on you, Mock, right?
Yeah. He was working on something else. Yeah, I think he needed a
slap your friend.
Something.
I was going to say, friends like that, who needs medical insurance?
Yeah, he never wore eye protection or anything, and he just squinted when he cut wood or sanded. Or
oh my god!
And that's why they call him one-eyed
Joe is still gimping around.
Well, when you're working with the micro density wood or whatever it's called, that shit like gets in your lungs and all that shit. So that was really powdery. Yeah. So
it's just like all formaldehyde wood. It's just like all the hardeners and shit like that that's in there is terrible.
Glue and all that. Yeah. So I remember like when I didn't wear usually I would just wear like a regular little mask, it's a simple one. But the days that I didn't wear it, I'd have like chest pains a little bit and couldn't breathe very well. So I'm like, I'm gonna wear my mask from now on.
You see, real men cut MDF in their apartment with the windows closed. Right, Jim?
That's right. Actually, my windows are always open, dude.
I bet the neighbors love Jim.
Just put a box fan in the door.
They probably have like a broom next to them, so they can go like this to the roof. Shut up!
Yeah.
When Jim wants to have a healthy day, he gets up and he makes himself a nice green shake, goes to the gym, and then he comes home, licks the asbestos ceiling on the roof of his apartment. That's a healthy day for Jim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always inhale. I've never had a complaint. I only do the loud stuff on the weekends during the middle of the day.
That's because you inhale and swallow.
There you go.
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm a trooper.
Who complains about that?
Perfect partner.
Right. You get the option.
So I gotta pass it. I'll pass it to. How about Mano Man? I haven't seen him in a while.
Hey guys, I haven't had anything gory, fortunately. I think the worst is pretty recently. I on the Qbert I was working on. I put my hand on the transistor, or not the transistor, but the bottle cap transistor on the outside of the frame, and I reached in there and kind of put both hands and touched that transistor, and it lit me up pretty hard. It was definitely the worst bite I've gotten. I've been bitten.
Was that DC? Are those DC voltage?
I think that's AC on the frame. Maybe Mike can chime in and correct me, but I think.
Are you talking on the monitor, the horizontal output transistor?
This would be a K4900, the one that's on the right-hand side.
Well, that's your voltage regulator. It's DC.
That's DC? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it hurts so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Those are mean.
Yeah, that was like,
God?
whoa, that hurt. And then I've gotten bit a couple times, like trying to adjust a yoke, like when you have your images like off. And you lose the yoke to kind of. I made the mistake of like grabbing all the windings,
Yeah, don't do that.
So now I do. Was it who? Well, I think it was Adam's video, where he wears the dishwasher gloves. I have.
Oh yeah.
I wear rubber gloves when I do that now. So.
Does that really help?
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. I just have a pair of gardening gloves that if I'm gonna ever do that, that's how I adjust the yoke now.
That's a good idea.
Pro
tip.
Pro tip. I need to do that.
Dishwasher gloves won't do a whole lot. So
I know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that rubber is pretty thin. I don't know if that's gonna do much. Maybe a little bit, but.
Yeah, I don't know if what I'm using is any
like the rubber like electrician gloves or whatever.
Yeah, the electrician gloves are pretty thick though. It's like that's not like a thin little like
right.
No,
but that's what you would need.
Yeah, I'm using like gardening gloves, so like they have a little texture on them and they're a little thicker, but.
I use latex glove. No, I was perfect.
Yeah. No, but that's the only thing I could think of. I haven't had any power tool accidents or anything. Most of my accidents are in the form of fucking up paint. So, and
I know all about
cursing
that.
myself out. So, yeah. That's all I got. Wish I had a better story, but other than electrocuting myself. But that's all I got. I'll throw it. I'll throw it to Andrew.
So I've had like the usual like around the garage like bumps and bruises. I've never had in the emergency room stuff. However, I do have on video the Ninja Star blade of the. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Lexan
the acrylic
control panel over. Yeah, like a fucking like shooting off and landing right into Sam's eye.
Oh shit!
It wasn't me, but it was like it's on video. It's on the
that's right.
Big restore, and he's like working.
A big piece too.
It was a good sized piece, and that thing shot out and just like pow, like.
Oh shit.
So that happened here, but. I mean, aside from like cutting yourself, doing stuff or little minor things. Every time I look at my dental, they stab me.
Hey, it's Steve from Grinkers.
Well, the question's over.
Oh, there's that deadly bottle cap.
Yes, exactly. We were just talking about that.
It'll get ya. Those are some red lights. Yeah.
That was enough. We'll hear that soon enough.
Yes, we will.
We will.
That'll be awesome.
Well, and after enough drinking, we'll all be at that same vantage point.
Nice.
What's the countdown on Grinkers right now? 22 days? 21 days? Something like that?
Something.
We're all close to 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Anyway, so yeah, Sam, Ninja Star, Lexan, Faith.
Ninja Star.
That's it. Jimbo, you're laughing.
I
just do it by who's on over my screen when I stop.
All I can think of is Butters on South Park.
Oh.
I'm actually with Man on this one. I haven't had like a big slice or something real like physically scarring, but I've been bit by monitors more times than I probably can recollect. But the worst ones, because I've hit we were talking about DC voltage, and I don't know how many of you guys have been hit with the 120 volts AC, but on the surface, it's on paper it sounds bad. It's like, ooh, 120 volts, eesh. But it's just a weird sensation. But I've been hit with DC voltage, Geo7s, but the worst by far was the Cheyenne 4900. I was converging it and working with the rings, and on that particular monitor, the yoke wires, the terminals for the yoke, the green, yellow, red, and blue, they stick up like this right by the rings and where you twist where the yoke is. And so I'm back there, I have the monitor out and I'm looking at it, and I bet I got hit 4 or 5 times. Like I wish I had learned to get some like rubber gloves, but I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going. Those fucking terminals are absolutely so painful. I remember I got hit by them, and I asked Buffett, I'm like, dude, how much voltage is in those? Because my God, it was like getting fucking punched in the face. It was so bad, and it's more like a hard hit all at once. It's not like AC where it's kind of like someone shaking your arm. It's just all at once. It's bam, and it just felt like a ton of bricks. And that probably happened in that session at least 4 or 5 times. I kept rushing up against it, and I'd be back there, and all of a sudden, yow, and I'd like jump back and like verbally just be like, ow, fuck, and then I'd be working. It wouldn't happen for like a good 5-10 minutes, and I was on, ow, it was so painful. The only thing I can compare it to is like an electric fence. It really smacks you on your ass.
It sounds like Homer Simpson trying to pick up a hot donut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a few times before, but like a Crafty, when he popped himself several times on the monitor he was doing a demonstration for at the arcade showdown here.
What?
What?
I like when he popped himself on the anode.
Max
you're
going
back.
on here.
I'm glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah, Crafty hit himself like 2 or 3 times on the same monitor, like during the same instruction. He's like, how not to basically handle a monitor. Like, you don't want to put your finger right here. Pow! Fuck.
Whatever you do, don't do this. Ah!
I think just about every monitor that I've spent a significant amount of time converging, I've gotten zapped at least once. So yeah, it's just because I always want to look at the front of the tube, right. And I don't have like a really good, it's tough. People say use a mirror. It's tough because like you want to see it straight on and be right up front. And for me, like the whole like, okay, I got to turn it actually this way instead of this way, or I got to do, it's just easier for me to see the front of it.
You can't properly converge a monitor unless you're looking at it.
Right.
You just can't do it. It's that
Thank
simple.
you. I needed that.
I've never been able to get the mirror trick to work.
Well, that and the mirror will change the way the image looks too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I always do the call my daughter or my wife out, and then I get frustrated and like I'm like, I'll just do it myself. Like, because they're like, not sure. I think it looks better. Go back.
That sounds familiar.
Totally familiar.
Yeah. And then I'm like, forget it.
You get them to grab the windings and twist them all the time and electrocute themselves.
Yeah.
Carrie's gotten really good at with my instructions with holding the mirror, but then there are the times where it's like, you can go do something. I'll spend a good hour on this while you whatever you want to work.
I'll go teach. I'll go work Saturday mornings and I'll come back and it's like, okay, I've got the monitor dialed in. Although I dialed in a monitor.
You did?
It looks fucking awesome. So happy. I'm so happy with my monitor.
Anyways, so that's mine. I will pass it to Orange Whip.
I mean, I haven't really zapped myself too much. I zapped myself once on a Geo7. But I think the biggest thing that I've done wasn't restoring a game, but it was when I was moving all my games from my basement to a shipping container in my yard before I moved them from there to storage, and it was started raining out, and I had 3 steps to go up out of my backyard into my driveway, and the plywood started getting wet, and I was pulling up. I think probably like in around the number 40 game that day. Like I took all those at once, and started raining. I slipped. I had a off-road fall on top of me, and nobody was home, and neither of my neighbors on both sides were home. So I was literally laying underneath an off-road game, sitting on this plywood, and it gashed my leg. So my leg was just like, it was, bleeding and all scraped up. And I basically just sat there for like 10 minutes, and I was like, well, if I'm not going to do it now, I'm never going to get this thing off me. So I just put every ounce of energy I had, and I just lifted the sucker off of me and got it up and pulled it back in and continued on pulling all the games out of my house.
Damn.
How many times at the end of the day of working on games have you like gone and took a shower or something? And you've just looked down and you've got like this massive injury. You're like, where the fuck did that come from? It's like or the next day you've got some huge bruise on your leg or something. You're like, just. It
always happens when I'm doing woodwork. You somehow scrape the edge of the cabinet or something, and all of a sudden you realize you're.
Or even worse, your wife will say, because it's like on your back of your leg or something, you don't even know it's there. You'd be like walking around the bedroom, they're like, what the fuck did you do to your leg? I'm like, what?
Get a nice, you don't realize that your arm has a nice streak of overspray from paint on it. Fuck.
Or when you're wearing flip-flops.
Oh, no, I went through so many pairs of socks from around that. Start walking, get into the kitchen, and it's like, fuck. Sticking to the tiles.
So, Buffett, you haven't gone yet, right?
No.
You must have a few monitor ones, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I've never hurt myself because I'm a professional.
Yeah. No, I get shocked the shit out of myself all the time. So
that's how his beard grows.
That's why he grows.
So yeah, I've been bit by the yoke. I've been bit by the anode cap while it was running. I've been bit by horizontal output transistors, voltage regulators, the neck board transistors.
What hurts the most then? If you've been bit by everything, what is the least pleasant? I mean, I would guess anode, but maybe not.
It all depends. The anode by far hurts my heart the most.
It's like full body.
Your heart told you?
Yeah, I can feel it. It'll fibrillate my heart a little bit. I'll feel it for sometimes a day or two. It'll hurt.
Shit.
Yeah, no, it's not pleasant. The yoke is
2 years.
Yeah, the yoke is a close second. The horizontal output transistor, the voltage regulators, and the neck board transistors, those are pretty much just burns right in your arm, or your hand, wherever you touch them. They don't typically go into my body much. It's just the burn right there, and it cooks that skin, and it takes a week or so for it to get all the skin off that's burnt and charred and melted.
Thing.
Yeah. And so those hurt because they're basically, it's a bruise. It just cooks your skin. So you can think of it as a bruise for most people to relate to something. But it's the heat there versus the path through your body for the anode and the anode and the yoke. But they'll bite you.
Yoke.
That's
damn
no
yoke terminals.
I'll grab a hold of them and touch them, and I'll even touch the windings and stuff. To like when I'm out at a convention or something, I'll be doing a panel or something, and I'll be like, "Yeah, the yoke will hurt you." And I'll touch the windings, and everybody, jumps backwards and everything. It's funny. You hear the chairs squeak and whatnot.
Don't worry, I have no nerves in my hands anymore.
So
just grab the frame and start screaming.
So I'm just touching the insulated, the wiring. I'm not touching the posts. I'm just touching the insulated. You got to watch out. If that's Nick, though, it'll shock the shit out of you. But it's funny because I'll touch all these different things, and everybody's like, yeah, and then I'll brush my hand in the chassis and stuff, but I know where to brush it. So even if I get hit by 5 volts, 10 volts, 15 volts DC, whatever, you don't feel it much because there's just nothing to it. And everybody's always like, man, I don't know how you do it. I know what parts
think that's scary. Watch this. Take a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's funny to fool people like that. It's a trip.
I'd like to know how much voltage is actually pumping through you, like when you touch something like that.
Yeah, well, it all depends. Your anode, of course, it's anywhere between 13 and 25K, 27, 30K, depending on the monitor size. And then your yoke is anywhere between, depending on what it's deflecting at the time, can be anywhere from 400 to 800 volts.
Hey.
And then
A couple.
Yeah, then your horizontal output transistor, that's basically your B plus. So whatever your chassis is set there, so anywhere from 108 to 130, 140, depending on the chassis. And then your voltage regulators, depending on your chassis, is the same thing, between 108 and 140. And then your neckboard transistors, that's where you get funny. Some of those, you can have those anywhere from 120 volts to 180 volts, depending on what model chassis they're running. So yeah, it can jump you. That's it. Yeah, no, it can surprise you.
Does it though? It's not really the voltage, is it? It's the amperage.
No, it's voltage. There's not much amps. I mean, there is amps there, but it's the voltage is real high.
I thought it was the amperage that did the damage, though.
No, volts can burn you. Volts will burn you. Amps will shock you. Volts will shock you, but voltage will burn you. So, and amps will cut. Think of it, amps are like you're cutting, and your volts are your burn, kind of.
Not at all.
Something like that. But yeah, they'll both do it. It all depends on how many volts. I mean, if you're putting 10, 12, 15,000 volts through something, it's going to burn the shit out of you. Absolutely.
Right, but I think Brad was just getting at, like, the amperage is kind of like the like if you have think of volts as like your capacity, like your pool, and the amperage is like the throughput. I think is what.
Well, amps is push for the most part. You can
described as being like a river, like as opposed to like volume versus
it's like a series of tubes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, they'll all hurt you for sure. But a milliamp.
It all fucking hurts.
Oh, bonging. Sorry. Feel free to mute me.
Nice. That was good timing. Yeah.
Oh, nicely done.
All right.
So is that everyone? Oh no, Dave hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, whoever's between.
And I don't know if Steve, when he comes back, if he wants to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go with Dave. He's here, right?
Can I just share this incredible control panel with you guys? I've just found on.
My God! And you say that the Defender has a lot of buttons.
Is that for a tic-tac-toe cabinet?
It's a 2-player Defender.
Yeah.
Take a picture of my controller when he was over.
Talk about value for money.
Yours says a steering wheel too, right?
Yeah,
Steve?
A lot of buttons.
That's for tic-tac-toe, the 2-player arcade game.
What game has 9 buttons to press?
I think some of the newer Street Fighters or something have some button configuration like that. I don't know.
Street Fighter
rotary
Defender.
telephone.
Instead of a jab, it's a tap.
12. Connect 4 control. Yes, I was trying to think of that game. Nicely done, Wally's Arcade.
Oh, it's for playing tic-tac-toe, right?
Yeah, the Connect 4 control panel. I was like, what is
Welcome to my joke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Pretty sneaky, sis.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Nicely done.
Anyway, sorry, Dave from Buffalo. Welcome to the show, Dave. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Who are you and what do you do?
Yep.
What does your daddy do?
Do they have lights where you live?
Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
Dave looks like one of those protected witnesses where they're taking testimony and you can't see their face. They change the voices to protect the innocent.
Garage, like nobody. Where is he?
Yeah.
Like, what's that one window that doesn't open that he can't get out? One, how come I can't get the YouTube feed on my iPhone anymore for this?
Because it's an iPhone.
Right.
Yeah, but I never had that before.
No, you have to buy the new iPhone now.
Right, for
You get an iPhone 7 for $1,000.
Hey up, boy.
Yeah, iPhone 6S. All of a sudden, it shows the picture, and you go to click, and it says error.
I get that too. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with for connected.
You have to buy the 10 now. I saw that there's a joke floating around today. How do you milk a sheep?
Oh yeah.
Release an iPhone and charge $1,000 for it
every year with no upgrades whatsoever, and they just keep removing things from it, like audio jack.
Like
maybe Apple plans on releasing their own video channel, so they're not going to use YouTube anymore, just like the maps.
I'm just about ready to jump shit from Apple. I'm so sick of their bullshit.
You know, my MacBook, my Air Mac took a shit, and I'm looking at the prices, and I'm like, you know, and actually, like, I'm using my work laptop, and everybody's saying that my computer looks so much better than my fancy schmancy AirBook or MacBook Pro thing.
It does look better.
Yeah, and this is my cheap ass Dell fucking computer from work. And
yeah, you're paying double for the iMac.
Yeah,
spec for spec.
Whatever. I've been using the same MacBook here for like the last 6 years. You guys haven't complained too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why mine was so shitty. Maybe it had something to do with that Manhattan I poured in it. Maybe. No, but it was shitty before I poured the Manhattan in it. I can't blame that. Maybe because it was an Air Mac. But
the MacBook Air, yeah.
Yeah, MacBook Air. There we go.
Also, all that porn as well. That's going to fill up your hard drive and slow down the operating system a lot. So.
Putting the hard in the hard drive. Anyway, we're meanwhile back at Dave's injuries, if any.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of. I was just when I said I'll be right back, I went down to the neighbors because he texted me, and I'm like, let's see if we can get it on your TV. So we're watching a little bit, and he was asking us, how come they don't ground out? He's like, there's a thing where you can put on your wrist and attach to set you to ground. But I'm like, I don't know, maybe because it's too much of a pain in the ass and nobody's dying from these. It's like, mean anything to anybody here?
And that's for electrostat. So I don't know if that'll stop from electric shock.
I've never died from an injury.
You haven't?
I think
wow.
I'm pretty lucky.
Mostly like for handling PCBs and static electricity, right? To ground.
Yeah, that's what those are for.
That's what I okay.
Yeah.
As far as like injuries go for personally, most of mine are just like with Joe. I wake up with like cuts and stuff because I'm moving stuff. Or I had arcade shoulder from the hand truck, and I'm moving all these things off of from a barn, and I was like this, just bruised. And then I've caught my finger in the door jamb moving in a game into my basement, where I'm not paying attention. And then my finger's caught, on the hand. I'm like, but nothing. No electric shocks yet. You gotta work on stuff to get, electricity.
Well, this isn't about electric shocks. It's just anything where you've hurt yourself working on your game.
No, I seem to hurt myself doing everything else, including sneezing, but not from the games. I'm getting to that age where it's like every other day I stretch my shoulder and my shoulder. It's like anything I do. It's never anything small stuff that I'm hurting myself.
Right, like when the fuck was it that sleeping was dangerous? Like, I now understand what the term "I slept wrong" means. Like, I'm sorry, in the past you just fucking fell asleep, you woke up, and you get on with your day. But then now I can sleep wrong. I'll be like, oh man, my neck hurts. I slept wrong. What the?
Yeah, or my shoulders down like this.
Yeah.
I'm walking
my ass hurts.
Like, what's wrong with him? Yeah, and no major injuries.
I'm just glad you didn't start that off, Dave, by saying, I once broke a treadmill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Man, brought it up himself.
I'm
Is that
sorry,
the best way to do it? Is to deflect your own humility?
That was so funny. The treadmill's smoking. Yeah, well, Mike Mann was on it for a while.
Nice.
No, the best part about that is we both love Fett. I'm sure we've told this before. And me and Mike, obviously by our physiques, we're not super gym guys. I run a little bit, and we're looking at. And
you could be a super gym guy.
He wanted to get on the treadmill, and he's over. He's got the. Doing a lot of posing, looking in the mirror, and me and Mike are just like, maybe this is what it's like. And then we were talking about it later.
Oh, that was priceless. We got to experience the Fed workout routine.
The mirror workout.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of self checking out in the mirror.
Was he taking selfies? Because I've seen those guys at the gym.
In his mind, he was, yes. In his
okay.
Mind. It was.
But maybe that's the problem. We don't look ourselves in the mirror enough. We got like.
It was, damn, I look good.
I don't have to. It hangs out in front of me so much. I can already see it.
Nice.
It was one of those classic moments, funny. And then the treadmill broke, and then we fed, and then he set it on the air. And he's like, "Oh, that Mike Mann guy, oh man, broke the treadmill."
It takes a real athlete to do that.
Yeah, I think that was when I looked at Dave and I was like, "Fuck you guys! I need a Snickers."
Game over.
It was classic. Well, did you go around the table? Who else is ready to talk about their injuries?
We all went, other than Steve. Oh, yeah,
I haven't
Terry.
gone. Yeah. Oh, yeah, me. Huh.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, although sadly I really don't have much. It's like I've hurt myself frequently, but it's always like minor stuff. Like
you always have bruises.
Shh.
I knew that was coming. So
I wasn't expecting that.
You walked into that one, but no, but I do. It's like I hurt myself all the time, but it's always very minor. And actually, the most recent and funny one where I was like, really, is that I had actually when I sent you guys a picture of that the dirty neck board from Tron, and so I cleaned that off and I brought it upstairs. I brought the neck board. I brought the for my 4900, it was a neck board and the other board, and brought it upstairs. I'd washed it off, and I have a little fan set up there where I don't have to worry about anybody knocking into it. And I kept the fan running on it so it'd be nice and dry because I wanted to get it nice and clean because it was disgusting. So seriously, I'm walking down the stairs like, oh, okay, now I need to put my cap kit in and work on this board, and I somehow managed to. Like the board started to slip and it turned and twisted and it cut into my thumb. So I actually managed to cut my thumb on a board I was simply carrying. And it's like it still hurts to this like several days later. I still have a little scab and it still hurts on the pad of my thumb. But astonishingly, I haven't hurt myself significantly doing any kind of restoration. The biggest thing has been if we move into the moving category, then yeah, I think
moving in for shows or for just around your house.
Yeah, actually, probably the worst was actually the first arcade cabinet I moved. I think was when Andy and Andrew B and I were together and moving. He bought it. I think it was when he bought the Gyrus from John Jacobson, and where he lives is up on the second floor. And it's a couple of flights of stairs. So you have to get up one small flight of stairs, and then you have a little turnaround, and then you get up another tall, skinny flight of stairs, and then there's a very narrow, basically like at the top, you have a little bitty landing, like barely big enough for the fucking arcade game, and then his apartment and the across the way neighbor's apartment, and I just remember, and the thing, it's like super skinny, and that was the first arcade cabinet I moved. And I just remember after that, luckily I'd brought some Vicodin with me because my back was so sore. Oh my God, it was awful. And then I was going to help him move the Mortal Kombat cabinet up these narrow ass stairs like a few days later.
Top when you took up the stairs.
What?
Were you on the bottom or the top?
You know, I started out at the top, but that did not.
Question.
I know, right? I'm gonna just treat it seriously though.
For her to go.
Your answer's starting to be the same way too.
Yeah. I tried doing
I like to finish from behind. No?
It did, but that was just not working. So then I ended up pushing from the bottom, and I would just put it on my back and would just like try to power with my legs. And luckily, actually, when we were doing the Mortal Kombat, some people were walking by and saw me and this thing about ready to crush me, and this young, nice, strapping young man came by and moved and helped Andy move up the stairs with it, because I was like, it was awful. It was.
Did Andy properly thank him?
Yeah, he offered him $20 or some money, but the guy actually refused. He was very nice.
I was expecting you to say that you got the hantavirus from Poli.
No.
Nobody's ever gotten that from cleaning out an arcade cabinet.
No.
Terry, Go on.
I was going to say, actually, when I was after my most recent, I think I've posted some pictures for you guys. I know I did on Facebook of when I removed the shroud on Tron, and there was all that crap underneath. Like
That's what I wanted to ask you. What was that?
I don't know. That's just it. Like there was a bunch of rat shit, and then it must have been a bigger turd, but I don't know what kind of animal that.
Belly button lint.
Like it's
like some milk duds or something.
Big old ball.
But I don't know how it could have even gotten in there, because it was under the plastic shroud, which I had to fucking pry off with a screwdriver. Like maybe like a little critter carried something in there and it got squished. I don't know. It just looked. I have no idea.
It looked so gross.
It was so.
It belonged as Kevin Flynn.
Yeah.
We should post a picture on here to show everybody how nasty it was.
Oh my God, that was so foul. It was so foul, and it scared the shit out of me prying that thing out, because did not just the manual talks. So we're talking about the Tron, the big plastic shroud with all the decals on it, and the manual talks about removing the retaining brackets and then lift and remove the shroud, so then you can lift and remove the monitor glass. And this thing had been I'd cleaned everything else, but I hadn't taken that out yet. And retaining brackets off, and there is no just simply lift. And so I was trying to find out, like, am I doing this right? Like I'm sliding a screwdriver underneath to try to break any kind of seal. And yeah, there we go. That was in the corner.
You gotta talk, Steve.
Oh, okay. This is the junk. Oh, that's the clean picture.
Actually, no, that's just a pulled out picture of it.
So yeah, there's a close up coming up.
Right here, if you can zoom on mine, I don't know. You can see all the shit at the bottom.
There we go.
That's better.
Yummy.
Does that mean noise like this?
How'd you put your tongue on that?
I have no idea.
Dude, I'll give you $10.
You start going to convulsions right away.
Yeah, I vacuumed it out. I just got I have a garage. I have a shop, not a shop vac, but I have a vacuum I do just for the arcade
You put
outside.
the Roomba in there. They couldn't quite get it.
It's full of
This one up there just shuts down.
Yeah.
It beeps at you.
Too much. Yeah, exactly. Error. 32.
Rudy.
Too disgusting.
Brian called it an upper decker.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I don't know what the hell that was.
Upper decker on a Tron.
Oh my God, it was so.
good.
I'm so glad that I got that thing off though. I was able to clean it out. It looks so amazing right now. And for a while, I'd turned down the black level, and so it was like really light, and I could see like all the dead spiders underneath, which actually is kind of appropriate for Tron, with the one game where you're like killing all the spiders.
Yeah. Grid bugs.
Yeah, the grid bugs. That was just foul. But, so hey, so is Steve from Grinkers? Steve,
Yeah,
can
Steve,
you hear
do
us?
you want to answer the
Do you want to answer the
tonight?
question?
Just answer the question.
We have to unmute him though.
Or he has to unmute
I
himself.
need that breakfast club. Really bad.
You have to wait, Steve, we can't hear you.
Stop moving your mouth. Stop it.
Yeah, you have to unmute
For
it.
God's sake, stop it. Please stop it. There's no time.
There you go.
I heard something about grid bugs. What was the question? It was grid bugs.
No, the question was, what's the worst you've hurt yourself working on a video game on a cabinet?
Wow.
Writing the checkbook.
I've had probably like 4 or 5 incidences of just not necessarily injury. So injury to myself and injury to cabinets. So injury to myself, I think it was only once or twice, I think. And both of those are, for me, it's always about like the stomach muscles. That's usually where I get it. I get constant injury right here, like in my where the game's like lean up right
Your
here.
giant bicep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always have bruises.
Guts.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too bad. I've been pretty fortunate. When I was first collecting, I lost a game off the side of a ramp. That was horrible.
Oh.
What
game was it?
Oh gosh, it was a part of a 4-game pickup local.
Pit fighter.
No, it was a classic. I don't remember what game it was. I remember taking it immediately to my friend Todd's house because he's a cabinet guy, like a woodworker guy, and I didn't want it in my presence. I was like, this has to go straight to Todd's house. And so I took it there, and I got it back a month and a half later, and it was like you can't tell it's here. I don't remember which game it is. I'll have to ask Todd. He'll know. It's the first game he ever did for me. And there's been small stuff. That's the big one. There was a big gouge, like the control panel, and then like here on the front, like 6 inches down from the left side of the control panel had like a 3-inch gouge in it, and then the bottom like back left corner was just like crushed, and so it was pretty embarrassing. The problem was I wanted to, like I said, I was early when I was collecting, so I was let me leave the game in the blanket because it'll be safer if I move it while it's in the blanket. And so there was a game with like a loose blanket over it. Had the game back and was pulling it up, but the blanket gave and the game went, and that was it. Sucked.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Well, on a lighter note, no. I was kidding.
Sorry, you asked for painful stories.
Yeah.
You, how much for your wife?
How much for these children? I think that's one, right?
Yeah, that's in there. Yeah.
Is that everybody?
Gak has to go second.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Gak.
Boys have a penis.
Yeah, last time I checked, that's true.
You've had some good stories, injuries from what I've heard.
Right. Actually, mine was Tron related myself. I was probably about 2 years into collecting, maybe. Summertime, I had hauled a bunch of games all day, and it was the last part of the trip, doing a multi-game trade and purchase. And I was in the garage, and I was like, it's hot, I'm taking my shoes off. So I had just bare feet and flip-flops, right? And so I go to tilt the Tron back on my dolly, and I have those big fat poofy tires on my dolly. And when I tilted it back, my foot slipped underneath, and it caught the front edge of my big toe, my toenail, and it just ripped the whole entire toenail back. It was just hanging on by the back part of my toenail.
Oh God.
Oh, so the whole nail bed was exposed.
Like a garage door.
That takes forever to regrow.
It was probably close to a year before it looked normal again. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Something similar happened to my toe, and my toenails never look the same. It's got like this weird, like wavy ripple in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, I have one thing to say.
I don't know how you survived, slave. It doesn't matter. Prepare to terminate.
Yeah.
Bring out the toenail probe.
I think Gak won that one too.
Yeah, exactly. We have a winner. All these arcades
good at telling stories. That's the thing.
Always something.
It's a real skill to tell a story well. And I am not one of those.
Well, guys, since we're just got it, we'll go over Grinkers updates here.
Let's play guess the track notes.
Right? Yeah.
How many are going on at once?
Yeah.
I hear off-road, I think.
That almost sounds like.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
Yep. Yeah.
I heard track and field, the one where you shoot the. Or is that Hypersport? Yeah, there we go.
That was a good one.
So
Bring in the logic probe.
Yeah. So we finalized the shirt, right, Andrew?
Ooh.
Sent that off to print?
Shirts are off to This Old Game. So yep, one of our
the wizard
longtime sponsors, This Old Game, has the shirts.
So we have 127 people currently on the badge list. Then we're making, I think, 145 shirts.
That's a record, isn't it?
I think so. The last year was probably the next closest, and we had stragglers coming in all the way up to a few days before the event. Yeah. And that was 123, I think. So we're right up there and past it. So
bonus.
Yep.
Wow.
Somehow, Andrew, I missed Lethargy01. Is that his name?
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, he chimed in on the thread, but I missed it, I guess, and I didn't have him on the list.
Was he for VIP or for just regular badge?
Regular, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll make sure.
He messaged me earlier today, and he's like, "Hey, I was double checking the list, noticed my name wasn't on." And I'm like, "Whoops!" So that's why I say on there, please check the list. If you don't see your name on it, let me know.
Twice.
Yeah.
Because Gak is going to find out who's what. No wait.
So yeah, 127 people, man. Yep,
that's a great shirt.
I saw that today.
That's definitely a top contender of best Grinkers shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this shirt, just to reiterate the design, so the whole thing this year is all about Steve. So this, the name for
Steve
Grinkers
Fest.
Grand Palace and where it comes from, 20 Grand Palace, and the design for yeah, there you go. So from War Games, but
I was
yeah.
just gonna say,
all about Steve. So yeah, that's where I took all my design cues this year was all about that. So I wanted to make a shirt that would be awesome for Grinkers and tell the story of Grinkers. And
shall we play a game?
There you go.
I would like to interject and say, while I appreciate that a whole lot, it's really not about. Please don't make it about me. It's about the history of where Grinkers came from, right? So.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like Steve and Grinkers, I consider it the same thing.
Sure. Yeah. No,
it's an origin shirt.
Yeah, I like it. It's true. It is an origin shirt. So, yeah, the people that get that shirt should really, I think, feel special, right? Because you guys, everybody that comes out is making like a trek, and that shirt is a badge of honor. So, everybody that gets it.
Trek.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I love is when people
Star Trek. Isn't that Generations? Isn't that where that line came from? The movie. Star Trek Generations, where the that'll do pig guy from Babe is like, you guys are all in some sort of Star
Trek. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not Generations though. That's is that Generations?
Oh, First Contact.
First Contact with the old guy. Yeah, the old
that'll do pig.
tough guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually been in lots of Star Trek episodes too. So he's anyway.
He's been in everything.
Well,
First Contact.
ones,
Yeah, I was pretty sure it wasn't. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I corrected myself.
Thank you.
Please don't strike me down.
What were you gonna say, Dave?
Star Wars.
No, I was gonna say I love when I say, oh yeah, in October I'm going to Idaho, and I get the same thing. Idaho. Everybody says that. Everybody. It's kind of like when people come every year. I have a thing in Buffalo, and people said, "You're going to Buffalo." It's the same tone of voice. It's like Idaho. What's in Idaho? And then like it's like Mecca.
New York City.
You have no idea. I love how that's a thing. That's a salsa commercial, right?
And it's not. You don't see those anymore. I quote that all the time. And someone will be like, "Oh, New York," and I'll be like, New York City, and they're like, crickets. And I'm like, "Damn, I guess those commercials aren't on anymore."
I always thought that was the same guy from the Hubba Bubba commercial. Wasn't he the same guy, the gunfighter in New York City? No? Remember the Hubba Bubba, the gunfighter, the old guy?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the gunfight? I always thought that was the same guy that did that.
The New York, the salsa commercial and the Tombstone commercials. You don't see those anymore, but I used to always say, pepperoni and cheese. Tombstone! What do you want on your tombstone? Napkin? No.
See, I just want to reiterate, like Steve, you were saying, but it's not about it. We always are looking for a theme, though. So the theme this year is Grinkers. It's celebrating Grinkers all by itself rather than a separate.
You didn't see the backside of that shirt, Steve. It's you naked.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all, and it just says it's all about Steve on the back.
No. Yeah, no, I got
That's only for VIP. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's all good. It's like you said, it's an origin story, but it's not my origin story.
It's an origin story. I mean, origin.
It's Grinker's origin story.
Grinker's orgy.
Somebody in chat, Steve, asked what kind of beers you have. Is that something you can just see on your website, your list?
I can read it to you. We have Coors Light, and we
Blue
have.
You better have Blue Moon.
Yeah, we have Coors Light. We have Blue Moon. We have Space, something or other.
Oh man, just seeing that right there.
IPA, a McTarnahan's.
Oh, Firestone. Yeah.
Ooh, God damn, I want to be there. I want to be there right now. I love. I feel like I'm sitting.
Yeah, I'm gonna be killing that Firestone.
You and me, buddy.
You still got Bud Light bottles, Steve? Do we still carry the Bud Light bottles?
For the weaklings? For the peasants?
I see a Bud Light bottle there. I'm very happy.
he's salivating. He's truly.
Somebody needs to present Steve, because... Yeah, there you go.
Present. Give him the presenter. Where's Brad? Curses. Oh, there's a shirt.
He's wearing a Grinkfest 3 shirt.
2. No, 3. No, you're right. 3. Yeah.
I drew that shit. I don't know. Look, you can see the 3 right there.
He wore it last, or someone wore it last week too.
Yeah, it warms my cockles whenever I see you guys wearing those shirts.
This is my favorite shirt.
I think mine is other than the regular Grinker shirt with the rocket. I think my the War Games one's my second favorite. Although this year's looks pretty badass.
Yeah, agreed.
And I love when people ask me what Grinkers is. That's the best. And I get to tell them about it.
Clint is in our chat, and he's wearing the Prototype shirt. It says,
"That's a great shirt too."
Oh, that's a beautiful shirt.
Yeah.
I think next year's Grinker shirt should be a green shirt, like instead of black, should be green with something on it.
Like it's glow in the dark.
Talk to Steve about that, because Steve won't let us do anything else besides black.
Yep.
Is that right?
Black shirt, but use that fluorescent paint that we use for the mat.
Oh yeah, the Denver tournament.
Yeah, because that glows in the dark so awesome.
The glow in the dark is crazy.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
Well, the
complimentary
War Games
condom.
one from last year was glow in the dark too.
Yep.
The which one?
That's so badass.
The War Games one from last year.
Oh.
That glows in the dark also.
I get reluctant to even wear it because I don't want it to fade.
Yeah, I don't either.
Hey, we can do any color you want as long as it can also be done in black.
Yeah.
So we'll do a 2-color. We'll do one with green and one with black, and they'll just be inverses of each other.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll get right on that, guys, because I'm a designer.
No, it's possible. We could actually, if we had enough time in advance, and we could do a design that worked with 2 colors.
Maybe
theoretically, if
maybe
this whole game
VIP
would let
gets
us
like
do
the
2
green
shirts.
variation.
Oh,
and
that's an
everyone
interesting
else gets the
idea.
black.
Great.
So
Just what I want to
shirt
do
differences.
is double the size of the spreadsheet.
Oh, come on, Gak.
Wait.
That's nothing, right? That's no work. You're not
Yeah,
posting
nothing
every
at all.
day and keeping up on 120 people. That's nothing. You know.
So,
No, actually, this is the first event that GAC has actually owned the spreadsheet. Normally,
yeah,
it's been
that's
on
right.
my spread.
Usually you start it, and then I'll just keep adding to it.
Hey,
or whatever,
Gak, I gotta say, nice spread.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I'll throw out some little fun facts about the shirts, actually. I was going to post that in the thread, too, but, you know, we want to make 100% of the people happy if we can. So offer every size from little miniature ones to bed sheets. You know? So,
we have the Grinkers shirt moo-moo.
Yeah.
the Grinkers brassiere.
So there's
for Ken House.
After getting all the different orders, there's 16 different sizes and variations, basically, of shirts that we're doing.
So, contrary to popular
nice.
opinion, arcade bodies come in various sizes.
Yeah. One of which is a ladies.
Yes, we have.
Right on one of those variations.
We have 2 sizes in ladies that were ordered, and we had 2 sizes in youth, children's sizes, and then all kinds of
Those
other.
are for me.
Yeah.
I want to look really muscular, so I always ordered a small.
Tim likes it tight.
And then I
like not being able to even move.
I threw a little bit
one for Big Jim and one for Little Jim.
Andrew, I don't know if you saw the. I see some little math work on there with sums and averages and percentages.
Yeah.
So to hit, let's say, the quote unquote sweet spot, if you can get like at least 80%, the shirt sizes small, medium, large, XL, and 2XL, that covers 80% of the people. But you know, we wanted to do the other, so we did 11 more sizes to get that other 20%. And then what was it? VIP, the people who pitch in the VIP, the largest group with the takeout size small, so medium, large, XL, 2XL. Those 4 sizes represent over 80% of the people that pitched in for the VIP also. So, you know, if we didn't care about trying to make everybody happy, we probably only would have done those 4 or 5 sizes. But, you know, a little more work, it's worth it. So.
It's gonna be like last year. I'm gonna walk home, like be like, "Oh, here's my." Oh, wait, there's like a triple XL in here.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, you got to get your bag the first day. Don't let it
This
smell
will
there.
be my night shirt. I'm gonna sleep in this one. Yeah.
The only thing that saves me is the guy in charge of shirts is outside of that group as well. So thank you, man.
Yeah. You and me both same size, buddy. So that makes it easy.
Brian Frober. Ah, damn. XXL. Fat. Arrow to himself. You blend right in, Brian. Hope to see ya.
Brian, I'm really looking forward to meeting Brian someday in person.
He's like our #1 fan.
Oh my God, he's awesome.
Our most loyal viewer. Poor guy.
Get that guy on the show someday.
Yeah, exactly. If not, then at least when we get down to San Diego and figure all that stuff out.
Right.
He really has very sense of humor. So.
Yeah. No life.
What are you saying, Brian?
Yeah.
We have one. No.
Aren't we exactly? Is it enough to qualify for a life?
Hey, we all have day jobs, damn it. Most of us. Buffett? No, I'm just kidding.
So, and we also have already started the ball rolling on getting games selected for the tournaments.
I was just going to talk to you about that tomorrow.
Right, yeah. Gak, I didn't reply to yours because all I wanted to say was eyes and Arkanoid. And I was like, they're getting vetoed, so.
Right. So yeah,
eyes could still be in there. That's
you never know.
We've got guys who have world records on all these games. There's no reason why eyes couldn't.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Oh shit. You're
so
right.
I think what the plan will hopefully be here is
I'm gonna get Rastam in there again someday. So
Dragon's Lair.
Well, I missed the deadline
this year.
Nice.
So I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll definitely have it selected. But I think what'll be fun to do is just wait till the day before. Release the game list on a Thursday.
Absolutely.
So
did the category get picked?
That one's still gonna be a surprise, maybe. So.
Well,
everything
100%
we'll
talk tomorrow.
Surprise. Yeah, we're not gonna tip anything live.
Right. Yep.
We're doing.
We'll talk tomorrow.
So yeah, just know that they'll be similar to prior years, 3 events, and roughly the same number total games. So should be good.
All right, Gak, I'm only 4 days late. I'm going to submit eyes and
so Steve, how does your staff feel about it? Like, do they look forward to Grinkfest, or are they like, oh my god, not this again? Are they resting up?
We try to tip the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
I can tell you that they're. So you guys all know Amber, right? Everybody knows Amber.
Oh yeah.
She's still there.
She's awesome.
No, so Amber, she graduated college, and she got a real job.
Oh.
Yeah, but here's the deal. So she always told us, hey, even if I leave, call me when Grinkfest happens because I love Grinkfest and I want to come.
Oh my god.
She told me that
That's
too.
fucking awesome.
And I said, you're
lying.
Back.
That's fake. You just made that up.
Because she told me she was graduating and stuff. And I go, well, you won't even be here for Grinkfest 5 if we have a Grinkfest 5. She goes, oh, I'll come back. I go, no, you won't.
So I reached out to her. I emailed her, or I think I Facebooked her. And I said, hey, Grinkfest is coming up. Do you want to, I think I said, do you want to pour beers at the counter or take scores, whatever you want? And she says, I'm in for both. And
really?
Yeah, so she'll be back here. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Awesome.
Oh, that's the best. That
A
makes
reunion of all sorts. Yeah.
Right? Oh, that's great.
I forgot what her major was. Something, was it nurse? Not nursing. What was it?
No, her. I'm not sure what her degree is in, but I know she's just interested in business, so general business.
Oh, business degree.
Yeah, so she's. But yeah, everybody does look forward to it. It's exciting, right? So it's like an event, and there's like energy built around it, and so yeah, everybody definitely looks forward to it, and everybody wants to turn taking scores, and yeah, it's definitely fun for. It's fun for everybody, the staff included.
Wow, that's cool.
Awesome.
That is awesome. That is great.
Yeah, that's a great reminder too. To I know that all of us have, but do take care of the staff. Steve puts on. I mean, it's a ridiculous special. It's like the best happy hour that lasts the whole fucking weekend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's already a ridiculous happy hour prices on stuff. So I mean, take care of the staff because honestly,
give them the big tip you've always wanted to give someone.
Yeah.
And you can take that
care of them. They take an incredibly good care of us the whole weekend and put up with us.
Actually, you
had
some of your staff taking scores. They've even went as far as they've taken scores for our fucking tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That is a painstaking process.
Yeah.
I remember asking the staff, how many beers do you think I had today? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, I think it's about 20. Am I all right for 20? She's like, no, you're okay. I go, I'm not driving or anything. I'm just curious.
Yeah. So the way it works, everyone that's never, if anyone's that's never been to Grinkers, you have a badge number. So you go up there and you order a beer, and you have a tab based on your badge number. So you're like, I'm 17. Okay, 17. Bloop. They give you the beer, and at the end of the night, you pay your tab.
Yep.
And so you're talking $1 a beer, right? So you can be good for like a week. And total tonight is $32 or more.
Steve, how many open tabs did you have at the end of the week? And not that anyone probably, maybe half of them did on purpose or half just forgot because they were hammered at the end of the night. How many open tabs did you have last year that were never
We've asked
taken care of?
Oh, that would suck. Does that happen?
I'm sure he's got it.
I assumed you get their card information before you sign them up.
Yeah, but here's the nice part. The nice part is that, so I'll tell you the answer to the question first.
That's why the hotel rooms are $200 a night.
One. The answer is one. So last year we had one person who didn't pay their tab. No, when I woke up the next morning, he had PM'd me on Clav and said, "Hey, I'm not sure if I closed my tab or not."
Oh my God!
Boom. 100%.
Yeah, if you take that into consideration, the answer is 0.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Accountability. If you don't pay his tab, he's gonna get.
The one person that didn't pay their tab last year was Orange Whip.
How come Claw people aren't that cool on the forums?
True
Well,
story.
because this is picking the best.
This is the best cross section of Clav there is.
Yeah.
The cream de la cream.
We're very selective who we allowed to go.
Yeah, and don't fuck this up, because if you fuck it up, we're coming for you.
You're out.
Exactly. Then we're not the cream of the cream.
Yeah.
His head.
Then you will be cream.
Exactly. I was going to say.
I have to go grab a beer because
Blanket party.
I broke down, bought a 6-pack because they started bringing out Oktoberfest. I'm a sucker for those.
I got another question for Steve. What's the biggest tab where you were like, these were $1 beers? I cannot believe this guy bought this many beers.
Shit, I gotta hear this one.
Like, was there somebody that was like he must have paid for everybody and just like this doesn't make any sense.
Dave from Buffalo.
62 Bud Lights.
No, Lori would be able to tell you it was about $150. She made a comment.
Wow.
Yeah, she made a comment. I think it was last year, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was from somebody paying for other people.
Yeah.
Probably.
And a lot of sandwiches.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the sandwiches too, although they're still half price. There's only so many sandwiches you can eat.
We get a
Steve Buffett hasn't been there yet, though.
Oh, good point. Yeah, the year that Buffett comes. Ooh, that happens. Watch out.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, maybe I asked this last week, but just to confirm, it's beer and wine, right? That you guys serve?
Yeah, beer and wine. I think is $1 the whole time, and half price sandwiches.
Wine.
Yeah.
God, you could get
Which are
plastered
so
on wine. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be that one dude, but
somebody will win that award.
Yeah, you and Sylvia doing a throwdown for the most wine drunk.
That's true.
And you do have like ciders even too, I think, right?
Well, me, Andrew, and Carrie were talking about getting ingredients to do pancake shots.
We're doing pancake shots for sure.
Woo! Yeah.
Where at?
Who's
That's part of breakfast Friday morning or what?
That'll be a wake up shot.
Yeah. Be like, what'd you have for breakfast?
Right.
3 pancake shots.
Yeah.
I need beer time.
Yeah.
Am I good to finish up there?
Huh?
Or are you good?
Yeah, you're good. You can close down, man.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh, that sounds like work.
Business.
That sounds businessy.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you at your desk in the back room there?
Yeah. That's the warehouse behind Grinkers.
Yeah, it's like the this place.
Oh,
No,
man, look at that.
That's where you let me check into my flight last year. You were nice.
There's a secret right there. Secret.
Ooh, wait.
Wait, that was too quick. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Wait,
I thought he bought some shoes. He bought a new pair of shoes. Is that what I'm looking at?
No, we're all talking. He needs to talk.
I don't know what that is.
I see Fire Escape.
Oh, Polaris.
Oh, Polaris. Okay.
Nice.
It's
That's
like
a
it's like a reverse.
The Taito cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the original Taito cabs, and it's like a reverse Seawolf. It's a fun game.
Huh.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Is it going to be on the floor?
Yeah, it's ready to go. We actually got that one working last weekend.
Oh, sweet deal.
Cool.
Hey, is Stunt Cycle working?
Yeah, Stunt Cycle's working.
Yeah, Blind Dog was working on it last year in the back. I remember. I was next to him. He was trying to get it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it wasn't working last year, was it? Or was that 2 years ago?
Oh,
that
gosh.
was mixing.
It would have been last year. Did he get it working by the end, or was it still broken?
I don't remember. I had a lot of beer in me. I'm sorry.
That's right.
You and everyone.
Well, he was working on it when I was there.
No, Stunt Cycle, I think that was one of the games that was on my short list for the black and white this year.
Same here.
It's a pretty low-scoring game, isn't it?
I mean, all those black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I got 26.
Yeah.
There's like a maximum, right? Some of those games. I think there was one last year, wasn't there? Like,
you
had several people get the same exact score because that was like the absolute max you could get.
That happened at.
Is that Boot Hill?
That happened at Prototype. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. The Pong game or whatever that was.
Pong, yeah.
Extra Pong, yeah.
What's that?
Is that a beer?
It's a little one. The Wiley Roots Brewing Company. Funkyo Cooch.
Oh, look at this. I love this.
Oh, look at that gorgeous. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm looking at Steve. I was clicking on Steve. I had to hit him. The games. Yeah, he was pouring a fucking beer.
Guy's my idol.
Yeah.
Guy's my idol. I love it.
All right, so what, 24 days? Was that the last someone posted? 24 days? We got 3 weeks and a couple wake-ups.
Right.
And a
That's probably the official day, so we're probably there a day in advance. Most of us.
Well, according to the countdown clock,
yeah,
if you call it noon on Thursday, it's 22 days and 13 hours.
Oh,
yeah.
Days.
We're gonna fucking destroy that bathroom.
I took so many wet shits in that bathroom.
We're gonna conquer the bathroom.
Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
That's a lot of direct deposits.
I've never
had way too many of them pressure cooker hot dogs, I think, Dave.
Jesus. I gotta go on record. I've never taken a shit at Grinkers.
Maybe the same.
Oh, I love shitting at Grinkers. I look forward to it
either.
I look forward to it. I can't wait to shake the shit at Grinkers.
Dude, and if you fuckers looking forward to it, fuck you.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit and piss.
God damn it.
Put a tip jar on the toilet, you'll make money.
Charge quarters for the toilet.
Oh no! You play Warlords for the toilet.
I haven't taken a shit at Grinkers, and I haven't fallen asleep on the toilet either.
To the best of my knowledge, we've only had one person fall asleep on the toilet at Grinkers.
I'm pretty sure that has to be the only person ever in the history of Grinkers that's ever fallen asleep on the toilet.
Fully fucking snoring and.
Who did that, Gag?
I had pictures of it.
No, that was not me, Dave.
No, all right, fuck it. Super Stearns. David from Colorado.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
fell asleep in a fucking toilet at Grinkers. I was sitting there. I walked in the bathroom like super late at night. And I was like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm taking a piss. And I hear this coming from the fucking stall, and I was like, "What the shit is that?" And so I'm tall. Over. And Super Stearns is sitting there with his fucking pants around his ankles, his fucking elbows on his knees, just like fucking cuddled over,
like he's on a plane,
half out completely, right? So I take some pictures of him and I walk out and I was like, "Fucking David's in there, fucking like totally passed out," and people like running in there looking at him, and then he walks out like 10 minutes later and he's like,
"What?
Orders of beer."
And a sandwich to go.
And we're all laughing. We're like, "Dude, you're fucking sleeping in there?" And he's like, "Wait, what? No, I wasn't sleeping." I was like, "Dude, you're fucking snoring."
I'm just gonna take the sandwich into the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Like, I'll be right back.
Shit meat.
Recycle. Yeah, it's a pass through. I can't wait to be there. Fucking A.
We've got 3 weeks. So what's the exact how many days?
It's like the
22 and a half days. If you're going on Thursday.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is the earliest I'll be there on Thursday. My flight is like I get in at 1:30, I think.
Oh wow!
God, I can't wait.
That's awesome.
I'm so,
This
so
is the
excited.
latest I'm getting there.
Oh,
Based on
damn.
history,
Like,
we'll
normally,
be there like 9:30, 10 o'clock. We'll be there on
At
Thursday,
night?
though. Yeah.
Same here. We'll probably be in by
Good,
around
I'll be
8 or
nice
9.
and lit by the time we give hugs.
That's right. I'll give you a reach around hug.
But find a happy place. I'll show you a happy place.
Just let it happen.
Oh yeah, where's Dave? No.
Pretty much.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
My good friend Pee-wee!
I'll be there November 1st to the 8th. Apparently, you don't deer hunt, Brian.
November 1st.
Although I might be in the minority for
Talking it my way.
outdoorsmen. Okay. Well,
what else, Grinkers? We got games coming up. But we can't talk about those.
And
22
stuff.
and a half
Hey, did
days.
anyone do anything that's? Should we pass it to what have we done this week? If anything.
What have we done this week? I got a new blister from playing 720.
You've been gun ho on that shit.
Dude,
Did you get like a
Did
you get like a
This-
re-interest in the game or something?
It totally was. It was like when I was redoing everything for when you guys came out here for Denver.
Right.
And I hadn't touched 720 in probably a year. And it's just like, just get distracted, like building games and doing stuff. And like so 720, like I got the joystick. I rebuilt it once, but I used a lot of the original parts for it. And then when you guys were coming out, I was like, I'm going to rebuild it. And I used all my repro parts and tried to make it as good as I can. And none of you fucking touched it. But
y'all suck at it.
Well, so after playing it, it's like, oh my God, this joystick is like brand fucking new. So ever since Denver, since you guys were coming out here, it's like I've been playing 720. So
cool.
Yeah, I actually 2 days ago I put up my best score and medal score ever in the game.
Sweet.
And I've been like right there in that same range. So yeah, I'm still stepping up. It's like a little bit better, a little bit better.
Cool.
But I play
Nice.
differently than Jeff C does. So I've never played a perfect game of 720, and a perfect game for me is when we were playing as kids, we were never going for scores because what the fuck is a score?
You just want to keep playing.
So no, I mean finishing the game is no big deal. So you do that all the time. But like,
okay.
It's
mister.
It's getting the
Jeez,
best.
damn, that's intimidating.
Yeah.
It's getting the best medal scores. So for me, it's always been about like, and I understand
The
like
best stickers.
Jeff C comes from like the best high score because like the thing is like the best medal score there's a top. If you get a gold and everything, you're done. You win. but I've never done that in my life. But like when we were playing as kids, it was always getting the best possible metal scores. So that's always the way I played it. So I totally love and appreciate the way Jeff plays the game, and have tremendous respect because I don't play the game the way he does at all.
That's why I missed last year. Like Grinkfest 3, it was fun watching him play, and he
wasn't here last year.
Yeah, I missed that, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So my best metal score right now is 301. And I still have a ways to go. That's not even, that's a bunch of golds, some silver, and I think 1 or 2 bronzes. So I'm still working on the perfect, from my perspective, game on 720. And maybe after I get the perfect metal score, then it's like I'll stop playing that way and start playing for, high scores. But it's a totally different game. You have to play it very, very differently to get, world record scores versus metal scores.
That's fun when there's different ways. That reminds me of actually Arkanoid, because there's 2 main ways of playing that game. One is for score, and one is if you want to complete the game. They're very different, because when you play that game to survive, to get through it, you're very selective on your power-ups. When you're playing for score, you want to get every capsule because they're 1,000 points each. So it's they're very different.
Yeah, because like the wrong capsule will fuck you up a little bit. So you gotta then recover from that.
But if you're playing for score, you're like, oh, I'll get the shitty ones, because especially like the shrinking ones, the little R's, because you get twice as many points when you have that capsule. So they're very, very different strategies, and I love that. Like that's cool aspect. It's changed the way that I think about playing the game. Like when I beat it, it was for the first time. It was all about, okay, let's just play for the good, get the good capsules. Just try to get through the levels. Try to play the right levels, which I've been working on actually mapping out on paper. The best ones for me, at least.
Are you using graph paper?
No.
Isn't that what like the nerds do, right? You like graph out the levels and you put them on graph paper. And
I was just gonna make a little bracket style thing, but just to help me, because once I get beyond like level 20-ish, I forget should I go left or right, But no, it's cool. But I just relating to you with 720, like the 2 different ways of playing it.
Yeah.
And with 720, it sounds like there's more than 2.
Well, there's at least the 2, right? So metal score, so just get all golds and something, and then like the high score. But actually, there might be a new twist on that too, which is like getting the best metal score you can get and the best score you can get. So
like a hybrid almost.
Yeah, maybe some way of being like, all right, so like, cause like if you watch Jeff play, like he will fail to qualify in a bunch of the different skate parks that you go into. So he gets the tongues on the board. So it's like, there's got to be some way to like maybe like some arcade,
like a marriage between the 2.
Yeah, like could you figure out some way where it's like, if you mesh the 2 together, could you come up with an ultimate
push
score?
The points so that you still qualify, but you're
like something crazy, like multiply the metal score by your actual score. What's the total value there? Where it's like you actually need to get a good metal score, or at least a above average metal score. Because like I said, he gets like failed to qualify. So all the time, like, 'cause you're just trying to get as many points. Like, so like on the downhill ramp, he's like that one, the whole point of that one's just to finish it. And that's because he's a good metal score. But like, he's just doing tricks the whole way down. He doesn't even care if he finishes it. He's just trying to get as many tricks as possible as he can in the time that's given.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So like, could you figure out some way to map that together to make the metal score important to the total score? And actually, Clint is in our chat, or was originally earlier. Maybe an arcade thing. You could figure out some way to mesh those 2 together to actually make a even more interesting 720 game.
Right.
So I've been playing. I got a blister like a fucking bitch on my thumb and I've even been doing Jeff C's sock trick, and it's still I got a nasty
tube sock,
blister. Right? No, actually a dress sock.
Oh, that's his after hours trick. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So a dress sock, because it has less friction. It's a little bit smoother, silkier. So
a little
quicker action on the stick.
Silky smooth. Yeah.
Anyway, So that's my arcade injury for the week. Is a blister.
There you go. Yeah. I wanna. I heard Matt Hall is returning to Grinkers with the belt. My goal is to kick his ass. Kick his ass.
Or BBH.
Kick his ass in Street Fighter with his non-starter characters, and maybe challenge him to Eyes. He probably doesn't know that game.
Didn't he say something like, I'm bringing it so I can take it back home again or something like that?
He wants to defend
the belt.
Yeah, defend the belt.
And then I replied, and okay, but there's
a good chance that he will.
And Dave's not here.
He's like a mutant.
He's a mutant. I like that mock.
Mutant of arcade, like.
Fucking, I beat a Zangief in Street Fighter. He's like, oh, that's my starter character. He's so pissed.
Yeah, well, get in the back of the line.
Mike appreciates it. Yeah, I know. That's what else. Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited for Steve to have another Street Fighter there, though. That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, so talk to Steve about like which version we're actually going to have loaded up in his blue.
I like exchanging PMs with Steve on Clav because and I know Steve's here, but I'm speaking like he's not here. But I like exchanging PMs with Steve because he'll send me a random PM, be like, all right, so Street Fighter, should I get this or this? Or what's the best version or whatever? And I'll respond, and I won't hear anything back. So I'm like, maybe he got my PM. I don't know. and then like we'll show up and it'll be like, oh, there it is, or whatever. It'll be like this lull, and then I'll get an update. So I mean, Steve's a busy guy. You can't expect much from What do you expect, right, Steve?
No, but he should have. I mean, that champion, he should add a fucking hyper sticker to that thing and put
hyper is such a more balanced game.
Yeah.
That's what we're planning on doing.
And that's a ROM swap, right?
Woo!
Yep. Well,
yeah, ROM swap.
The goal is to have
there's
two
theories.
hypers.
There's theory. There is a theory, a rumor. I've never tested this because I don't have two different boards. But there's a theory that if you do a ROM swap on a Champion Edition board to hyper, and you have an original hyper from the factory, the original is faster. The speed is faster than the Champion converted is. I've never tested this. I don't know if that's true or not. But essentially, the game is the same.
It sounds like bullshit. Either way, like do a ROM swap and it'd be awesome.
Yep, I agree. And a ROM, you can find ROMs all over the place, or you can burn them yourself. I mean,
Steve,
they're
I'm
there.
sure Steve can burn them himself, or hat trick or whatever.
Yep. So there's that. So and hyper is they fixed a lot of stuff with that, and they added a few more moves. But that is probably considered of all 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Of all 5 legit versions of Street Fighter 2, that's probably considered the most balanced game there is. Like, meaning character A can be evenly matched against character Z, and it doesn't matter who you pick. Anyone can beat the game if the player is behind it. So you can't really say that about Super Turbo. You can say like people will put
Turbo
up
has huge ranks. I mean, the
there's
whole
tiers. There's
the tiers,
big tiers of character. Yeah. Hyper is pretty even across the board, and that's maybe the only version that's that balanced.
And the only thing you don't get from Hyper is you don't get DJ and you don't get Cammy.
You don't get those 4 characters. That's true. And you don't get it's not
you don't get Thing Long.
Yeah. So you don't get those 4 characters. 5 if you include Akuma, but
Akuma, right?
That's a band character.
Yeah.
But as far as Hyper is not Super Turbo is not just advanced in terms of the characters and the super combos, but it's a combo based platform, meaning a round can be over in less than 10 seconds with 2 combos. You can't really do that with the other versions. It's more of a chess game. I think Hyper is more approachable by the average Joe.
Yeah, for
than
sure.
Super Turbo.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Super
I know we
Turbo
talked about
cheats.
this last-
Yeah, Super Turbo. It's like it reads the inputs. It's got the whole cheating thing from the CPU and stuff like that. I mean, it's a brutal game.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say from an arcade
Grandmaster
from an arcade standpoint, Hyper Fighting's the best game to throw into a cabinet. If you're talking tournament setting, competitive, Super Turbos, but in a general arcade, Hyper is the way to go.
Yeah.
If you could put both, if you had two, do one of each, but
and that would be like what, Anniversary? Because that would let you pick everything.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah,
that's actually catering to the competitive players, to the real diehard fans, because they know those subtle differences. The average Joe doesn't.
Right. No, Hyper Fighting, you just walk up to it and anyone can play it. If you know Street Fighter, you can play it.
These guys.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So I don't know the condition of the. We have the one Street Fighter here right now. It has Championship Edition with a ROM swap. We're gonna upgrade that with a ROM swap to Hyper Fighting. The other Street Fighter 2 is in storage, and I have no idea what that has in it. It says Championship Edition as well, but I don't know what's inside it. We've never fired it up. So we're going to get that over here in a week or so and then figure out what it has in it. And then the goal is to try and get 2 Hyper Fighting cabs before October so we can have
Holy shit. We're going to have to have a tournament.
Yeah,
yeah. Steve was saying he
thing.
wanted to do a mini tournament with that.
Yeah,
cool thing.
That's awesome.
So yeah, hopefully we'll have like a, I figured we would just do like a side thing, like on Saturday afternoon or something, just like around noon, throw out a sign-up sheet or something, and try and get like an actual structured. Like ladder tournament of some type. Yeah.
So actually, Jimbo actually for our tournament here in Denver did a bracket tournament.
Yeah, someone on his phone that can do it. Even
so yeah, we should have Jim. Jim, you should run that fucking tournament.
Yeah,
there you go.
That should be your job.
I'm down with that.
Like a one. You're talking. Sorry, I missed it. But you're talking like a one-on-one, not a Nat style, right?
No,
you're just
pure one-on-one, just a straight up Street Fighter tournament. Like you got 2 machines and run a fucking bracket tournament. You got the software.
Sure. Yeah. There's a really easy app I downloaded that just automatically does it, randomly seeds it, and you just basically touch who won of the 2 players, and it worked flawlessly for us.
Yeah, Jimbo, you're in charge, dude. You run that tournament. That's your tournament, dude.
Yeah.
So go ahead and come up with the first, second, and third place prizes. I'm just kidding.
And then line up a couple sponsors.
First place gets a mouth-to-mouth kiss from me. Second place gets and third gets a hug.
First place is open mouth.
That's right. we're gonna have like 80 people starting doing that tournament. Woo, look at this. By the way, I will be clean shaven.
Isn't Mike going to be there? Your friend Andrew?
Yeah, Mike should.
So he'll be a good opponent for everybody.
A very strong contender. Yeah.
That's why I'm not playing.
Unless if there's enough interest, we could do it. We could do a 2 versus 2.
Free. Play it, dude.
if there's enough contenders, we could always do a 2-player teams, which isn't unlike Nat. It's one-on-one, but you have 2 people per team. So player A plays player B, and C plays D, and you go, that's kind of fun. That's a lot of fun too, because then you have the camaraderie. But so there's that. But me and Mike played it was fun playing Super Turbo with Mike. It was different than playing Champion Edition at Grinkfest. We went back and forth a lot more. He's still the better player, but we played so many games at Andrews. It was ridiculous.
I'm so glad you guys were just pounding the machine. It was funny too, because
we were drinking so many beers. It'd be like we'd played 10 straight games, and then it'd be like, okay, beer break. I need to get another one.
No, that's brilliant. I set that machine up for the 2 of you to play it.
It was great. It was great. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I know. This is the bathroom of Grinkers, everyone.
See, can you just smell that?
Woohoo! Dicks and farts, as Sean would say.
Yeah. Dick soup.
That one sounded a little wet.
Oh no! Oh no! No, that was Mike.
I'm gonna start sneaking into the ladies' room this year. I think that's gonna be my strategy.
Oh. Yeah, you can. They'll all call you a creep because you'll be taller than everyone looking over. Hey, how you doing?
What's
my favorite bathroom story is Grinkfest 3. The first time that I hung out with Andrew in person, and we're both. I've showed this story like 10,000 times, but I'm at the urinal. Andrew's in the stall, and his head clears. Obviously, he's like, why? He's like, hey Jim, what's going on? And I'm like, oh Andrew, hey, we're doing our business, and all of a sudden. It sounded like a little child like crying. Andrew just ripped one, and I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. I could not. It was like cheek sneak. That was not a cheek sneak. That was straight up like just no. I just couldn't stop laughing though. That was it. I almost cried. I couldn't stop. I'm like, I'm never gonna forget this. It was so damn funny because it was quiet. It was like, okay, we said our things and we're like doing our business. Yep, and I was like.
Yeah, that's great.
And you know, it's good when someone starts laughing. It's like, okay, I'm not the only one that heard that.
If they don't laugh, it's really awkward, actually.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna fill the beer again. Before I forget, just in the last day or two, some people talked about how, all the discounted rate rooms are gone. And all that's left is $200 a night or whatever. And then some other people are talking about it. Mango Man's still here with us? Mike?
No, he snuck out.
He snuck out. Okay.
He's got to help his son with homework.
Yeah. So there's
his son with homework. Yeah, like that's a legit excuse. Actually, that's probably the best excuse I've heard ever.
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday night.
Procrastinate.
Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa, now that's a squeaky door.
But it sounded like some people did find some Airbnb close by.
Yeah,
and, I think within 4 or 5 miles, there's a couple of pretty cheap, inexpensive hotel options also. So
Airbnbs, yeah, and there's hotels that are within a couple miles. And renting a car is not that expensive. If that's the other thing. That's what we did last year and this year.
The guy who's coming down from Alaska, I think, is the one that said he found
holy shit,
like $70 a night, like a grandma's quarters and stuff. Yeah, Alaska.
Oh wait, no, that's in the States.
That's Canada.
Yeah,
Steve, I think that's going to be a first this year. Someone from Alaska.
That'll be close to our farthest traveled. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Leo will be there. Leo's kind of hard to go up against because he's coming from
Mr. Cheek Sneak himself.
Yeah. Mr.
That
Cheek
should be
Sneak himself.
Built his fucking new cloth handle, Cheek Sneak.
Well, Dave from Buffalo is pretty close by there too, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, we might have to do the. We might. He might have had me
from just by a few miles. Yeah.
I think we had the longest traveled last year, and he won.
Okay.
Yeah, but he might have paid off the judges.
Yeah.
I think he is because just if you look at
Steve,
the map,
tilt your camera down a little bit so we can see more than your eyes.
Wilson
forehead.
Roof. I like the ceiling and forehead vision.
Well, Tim, sometimes, but no. That's great. I can see your cute mug.
Hello.
Hello. The glasses sell it.
The glasses are mandatory. I can't see anything anymore without glasses. It's depressing.
Welcome to the club.
You get those high scores.
That happened to me this year too.
Yeah,
I'm there too, but I can still manage to get away with large.
He's in denial.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't be there.
I'm the only person in my family that doesn't have glasses. They'll probably meet in about 5-10 years.
My wife lost her iPad
Virginity. Oh.
Ooh, look at that. So,
Thanks to Dave.
So I was trying to type
I've
in
been married for 20 years and still I've gotten past second base.
Thank you, Gak. You knocked that out of the park.
About time.
She only lets me put it in the butt.
No, twice.
Once a month.
Yeah, there we go.
I got two kids.
There's an arcade story about injuries right there. Yeah, no.
we were actually pretty like PG rated until
We were until what do you expect? It's midnight for me.
I know it's that time.
2 hours, 2 hours, man.
All right,
So you
sorry.
watch.
Nobody watches past this point, anyways.
Yeah, this is all freebie stuff. We can go off air.
Yeah, no, those are the people that aren't live, so we don't give a shit.
Right now, or on the chat. That's pretty good.
Surprise butt sex. Sex. SECKS. Nice, Brian.
It's less dirty if you spell it that way.
Yeah.
Right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave, you were telling that story.
That's just every time you're willing to group up with someone.
That's like
semen.
SEAMEN. No.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, I was talking about the eyes failing. It's like
Yeah.
I couldn't read the serial number on the iPad box, so I had to go to Harbor Freight and buy a magnifying glass. Like I tried, I held the box a different light. I'm like, no, there's no way. I'm like, God.
See, Dave, you need to get one of these for your workshop. The LED.
You need a shoulder-mounted one.
The
You just
percolator.
Bust it out whenever you need it.
That's right. That's what I use for backlight for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are dicks.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for me it was
Don't
We're all
you
the
forget
same-
it.
We're all the same fucking age, so we're all
Yeah.
knocking on that same door. Except for
You
Jim.
know, speaking of age, I really want to do like a poll. I think everyone, or me and Steve are like, Steve, you're 72, correct, right?
Yes, sir. Yep,
Yeah,
72.
and so guys like me and him, it hits so hard. And if you look at the guys in like Arcade Radio, Fett, John, all you guys, I mean, Whip's a little bit older, but
You're talking about Arcade Outsiders, not Arcade Radio. Those guys. No.
Arcade Radio, a couple were all like 72 is like the benchmark, and it's
the
like
year you were born, you're saying.
Yes. In
Oh,
either side
I
of
thought you were
that.
talking about age too. I'm like,
You're
who's
not
that
72 years old.
Yeah.
Because if you were born in 72 and 82, you were 10, and it was like you were just like, whoa.
Yeah, I agree. That's
But
like
I laughed 'cause-
the core date.
Yeah, it's weird because how many people? It's like, yeah, 72. I'm like, wow, we're all the same. This really, when you're 10, it's like this shit's awesome. I mean, it was, but I mean, I think that's like the benchmark age because there's so many people that are like the same age, and it's just coincidental or a couple years either side.
Well, let's do a quick rattle off.
Great. Here we go.
I know.
I know you're a baby, but you're a lot smarter than me.
So
nah.
So let's do a round table. So Dave, you're 72, right?
The year you're born, we're saying.
Yes,
Okay.
you're born. So Steve, you're 72.
Yes.
All right. So pass it to someone else.
You, 34K.
74.
Close
Youngin.
enough.
Passing it to Mock.
He muted himself.
He mutes himself.
69, dudes.
I'm an old man. 69.
Dudes.
Oh,
You know, dude.
Which makes me 40.
You're 3 years. You're 3 years off our perpetual or conceptual like mark here.
Yeah.
I'm 2 years advanced, so you're 3 years behind. So whatever. That's within the range. So pass it to someone. So.
But I did grow up watching the whole video game boom and watch it grow and
Yeah, I know.
You were better at the games than I was because you were
a
3 years
little
older.
better.
You've got a main machine, so pass it on.
Okay. Jimbo, what old is he again?
I'm barely, but I'm 83.
I love
I was January 3rd of 83, so late 80, or barely 83. But yeah,
That's
right
impressive.
after night started to crash.
That's impressive.
So I am the youngin, with the exception of Seabart.
That's right.
But yes,
Chris is younger. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I am the youngin of the group, the weird one.
So Gak,
71. So
71. So you're just
2 years.
off the mark too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's left?
Carrie, but she's like
Brad?
my age.
And Brad,
I can answer for Carrie, but she probably would kill me if I did.
yeah,
I'll answer for you.
71 as well.
71.
Carrie and
See?
I are the same age.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
So
I know, Jim. I'm just saying that.
besides like
Well,
Jim,
I appreciate
and
that.
Chris, like you guys are like the fringe things, but like we're all in the same basic within 5 years.
Yeah.
So what? 74 in the no, aside from you, yeah, Jim. So 74 is the oldest, and 69.
Dudes.
Was that you?
69 dudes. Yeah,
Steve, you're
that's
60. That's a 5-year spread. That's fucking nothing.
Hey, did Buffett go? Did Buffett take a turn?
No, Buffett's young actually.
Buffett's a young
definitely.
I'm younger than you think I am.
Yeah.
yeah.
How old are you, bearded, gray-haired
Yeah,
bastard?
Hollywood.
All right, Buffett. What's your year?
Probably
I am
1980.
the third. I am the third youngest. How about that?
I say Buffett
Oh,
is
God.
70.
78.
No, 7.
My guess is 1980.
80, that's what I was going to say.
No, I am a 70s kid.
78,
Alright,
not
78.
78.
You're the closest, 34.
All right, so
77.
79.
77. I'd do 77.
76.
34K has it.
What was 34K? What was it?
78.
So 5 years.
But still, that's still not that far off from the 72 mark.
No.
Buffett in the YouTube chat. Buffett's 14.
Okay.
That's why he can't make it to Grinkfest. The dude can't even drive.
Yeah, I know. Shit. Can't fly alone. Can't do nothing.
Oh, he's got the appetite of a 14-year-old.
I need a beer.
He needs a guardian.
Yep.
Yeah, the glasses thing hit me about 2 years ago. It started out with like medicine, a little tiny writing on the bottles. I have to hold a flashlight to read it, and then that wouldn't even help after a while.
For beers.
Oh god.
Yeah. I'm like, it's somewhere between 5 and 9% alcohol. That's good. I'm fine.
That's session.
Very first time I realized I needed glasses, I was reading a PCD. I couldn't quite read the wording on it.
Yeah.
That's why I've got the magnifying thing. Like
I had one too, but I couldn't focus. I couldn't get the right depth to get it to focus for me, and I needed glasses.
Yeah.
That's what that magnifying was with the serial number. I couldn't. I'm like, come on, wait. I gotta get the right position within seeing.
It's a thing. Like when you're old, when you're like picking up something to read, and you're like you have to put it really far away
Yeah, I hate that.
to read it.
That's what I have to do.
Yeah, focal length is such a
And more light. You need more light on it.
Yeah, that's the,
that's I got a flashlight on the iPad box. I'm like, no,
You're
I
using your
can't fucking
phone.
read this.
using your flashlight and your phone to fucking read a box
Yep.
or a menu at a restaurant.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
I still do that if I don't have my glasses with me. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm not there yet. I'm good.
Have you ever taken a picture with your phone and then you enlarge it with your fingers?
I've had to do that
You know, I
more
wish.
times, yeah.
No, that's what somebody told me when I bought the magnifying glass. Why don't you just take a photo of it and do it? I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that was. Why did I do that? It was I couldn't read it. I had to wait like an hour. I had to go to Harbor Freight.
Gotta think
I never
outside the
thought
box.
about
Yeah.
I know. I gotta go pee outside. I'll be back.
Nice.
So,
So
you guys know how old T-Bart is? Is he in his 20s still?
he's in his 20s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 21, 20,
He's like
21.
25, 26, maybe.
Yeah.
He's
Mid-late.
28 or 29. No.
No, I don't think he's that old.
He's somewhere between 20 and 23.
Oh wait, Seabart was on here, or did he go to bed already?
Yeah, he's happy he bailed.
Is Seabart making Grinkers? Is he allowed to come?
No.
I
wish you could go.
Oh, I gotta go.
Dude, I want to get that guy drunk.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
And
Come
drunk
on.
politicians.
I want to take pictures of passed out.
And then
I can
you
handle
do
I've
just
been
keep
around
phones
for
away
drunks
from
in my
him.
day.
No, I can't wait for Seabart to come. I think he's gonna be so happy that he's gonna make one of the
When
events.
can he come? Like when could he could do that?
Well, so
I think legally he can right now. It's just
yeah, it's not a legal thing; it's a money thing.
monetary.
I think
Yeah.
he might have finances, I think.
Okay.
It's expensive to get out of Canada, especially when the dollar difference and our
And
flights.
he's more east, isn't he, Orange Whip? He's pretty
Huh?
far east. Seabart, he's pretty far east.
He's in
What's
Ottawa.
that?
He's in
Which is
Ottawa.
north of what in United States? What?
Well, Toronto, Detroit.
That's right. Yeah. So he's pretty far east.
But it's just everything we have up here is so expensive. Like our flights, it's cheaper for us to fly to fucking Europe than it is to fly to our own country.
Crazy.
Hey, if my wife didn't work for an airline, like I literally threw $145 in the toilet, I think, because I bought a one-way from Boise to Chicago, and the flight's got 70 open seats on it because last year I got stuck there, and now Americans got that's all it's costing me. Everybody is $145. It wouldn't even cost me anything because I could go for free. But I'm going to be on a flight that I could have gone for free, but I paid $145 because I didn't want to get stuck there like I did last year. But who knew? I couldn't plan ahead. I'm like, this is so cheap. I'm just going to do it. But I mean, if I bought, it's like $700 from a round trip from Buffalo to go to Boise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And the flights are open.
Back on a Sunday and everybody's gone. It's like, where's everybody? It's over.
It'll come around next year, Dad Burn.
Pee on my mulch. Everything.
Make it grow.
So it's the current exchange rate according to whatever I'm looking at. It's 1.23.
I wonder if Seabart could drive it. Is it too far to drive?
That's a pretty good drive.
That's probably a 2-day drive, I would imagine.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a car, does he?
That's like coming from Detroit to Grinkers. That's like at least a 2-day drive. I mean, he if he made it out here to Denver, he could carry it in with the rest of us.
Did he do the Greyhound thing?
He could do the Pac-Man thing. Do the Pac-Man.
Yeah, but Greyhound and stuff like that is not as cheap up here as you think it is.
Oh.
Yeah, everything like that, all that kind of stuff is super expensive up here. There's just not as many cities for you to go to really close, so everything's way more expensive.
Well, if he could make it to Denver, we'll drive him out. He's got to fly for 4 hours and then drive for 12.
What would a flight cost, Orange, for that?
From Ottawa?
From where he is to.
Could we do a Seabart fund?
Yeah.
A cult of Seabart.
Seabart?
The cult of Seabart. Okay, all 6 listeners, they each pitched in $3.
You got you $9, dude.
What day is it? The 13th?
What are you gonna do with that $9?
So fucked up. We'll buy you 9 beers when you get here.
The cheapest is 532 US, which is probably
$7 beers in the tip. And no sandwich for you.
3 beers and a sandwich. There you go.
You don't even have to play any games.
You better bring your own tip money, you fucking cocksucker.
He's a cook. He can go back there and cook it him damn self.
Yeah, right.
So mock right now it's 532 US with 2 stops, so that's about 600.
That's to go to Denver or to Idaho?
To Boise.
Okay.
So it's about 650 Canadian. That's with 2 stops. If you want to do just a one stop, it's 750 US, which you can get close to 1,000 Canadian.
Plus hotel. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Welcome to Canada. That's why I love Grinkers. I can drive.
Yeah.
Get there in one day.
Yeah, there you go.
Ship himself UPS.
in a crate.
Yeah.
I'd be cheaper. Just drill some holes in it.
Seabard's best bet in the past was to go to Fun Spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Denver. I mean, actually,
Yeah.
Fun Spot still would have been better. But East Central, so either one would be good.
There were
$900 for him.
from Ottawa and Montreal, which is close to Ottawa. Though he could have easily hitched a ride with people, but that's when he
almost $1,000 for him to come out. It's like
that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
for a vacation. I mean,
yeah, for a weekend.
It cost me $3,000 each year.
Yeah.
Well, after that, he still has to get room and board.
Right. That's
Right.
what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he could sleep in a van down by the river.
The Eagle's Nest.
I'm sure there's an abandoned car right there somewhere.
Oh,
There's a nest.
there's a nest. It's been occupied before.
I've heard stories.
Jesus Christ.
Is Damien making an appearance this year? Anybody know?
I think no. I have
No,
not heard
he
from him on Facebook. I've not heard from him on.
No, I think he actually said something. Somebody a message. Did he send Orndorff a message?
I don't remember who it was now.
I
No, I
think
don't.
he sent you a message.
I don't think he can make it.
Yeah, he said he couldn't make it.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
something else he had to do.
Yeah.
Is that
That's a shame.
that guy?
I think they asked him on Facebook.
He's been there every year since Grinkfest 2. This will be his first year he hasn't made it, I think.
Yeah.
You're talking about At Home Tech or whatever his name is?
No, that's Damien Decord something.
How are we going to project the scores on the ceiling?
I know. We're just going to have to bring a
On the
computer.
wall. Hope
Well,
someone
I always
has a
bring my
laptop.
computer. Yeah, I always have my laptop with me to make badges. So
Oh, okay.
Damien Cordero.
Cordero, yeah. What are you doing there, Steve? You buying some games?
I'm actually trying. No, I'm doing something different. You want to know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get in on an ICO for Icon. It's a cryptocurrency that's it's out of China, and I really want to try and get in on it. But it's like the whole Ethereum network is like collapsing. So there's like all kinds of crazy ass pressure going on right now. It's fun.
So it's like Bitcoin, you mean?
Yeah, it's the same family, correct.
Right.
But I don't know. It's the technology is growing faster than the demand, so it kind of sucks.
Jesus Christ. I was looking for a sipper here, Gak, and all you left behind, I'm looking at 2 fucking beers you left here, and they're 8.5s.
That's a sipper.
God damn it.
If you squint your eyes, it only says 6.5, so you're good.
Well, so which one should I save?
Dojo would be the better of those two. So if you wanted to save one, I'd save Dojo.
All right, so I'll drink the Baruca.
Yep, Baruca Diablo. See if I have one.
Should I save both those? Are these savers?
No, you don't need it. You do
No,
whatever
just-
you want. You don't want to save them too long, so then they'll start.
Well,
not
I
being as
know. Well, no, I know. God damn it, but
That's why I drink Bud Light. I don't
But
have
you,
these- these-
but you
these
want to enjoy
problems.
them, right? If you drink them now, well, you've already had too much. You might not enjoy them as much.
what are you trying to say, Buffett?
Drink one tomorrow and one the next day.
Are you saying I'm drunk?
No.
Because I am.
Just your taste has changed.
Because I am.
He doesn't get crack open the factory fresh Bud Light, or he cracked one open at 3 years old.
Andrew, this one I've had a couple. This one's 8%, so I'll crack this one open if you go ahead.
All right, I've already done it, dude. It's
All right.
here you go. That's poured.
All right.
But I gotta bail in like 20 minutes.
All right.
I'm still training new employees, so tomorrow I actually kind of have to pretend like I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Fake it till you make it.
That 34K?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
I think you should have your own company.
You think so?
Yeah. Because you got the talent, man. You can do anything you want.
Side project.
Man, like, to be honest, like the only design work I do anymore is for you guys. I don't do any other design work except for arcade stuff.
You don't do design work at work?
Nope. Pure development.
See, that's an underutilized resource.
You're managing other designers, right?
Other designers and other developers, yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually got a really small team though, so it's.
Do you get to manage guys that are doing front end work? Like
almost
UI?
exclusively, yeah, all UI.
That's cool though. So you still get to design vicariously through your crew.
I do, yeah.
All right.
But it's funny actually. Like my entire team right now, all ladies.
Nice.
I noticed that when we went.
Nice. Nice.
Which I fucking love. Like they do an awesome job. I've got two, like one girl I just hired 2 weeks ago. She's doing an amazing. Actually, she. So I told her about the arcade thing and like what we're doing, and she actually said, "Oh, I would totally love to go to that." And I was like, "Wait, seriously?"
That's nice.
Just
So I
don't
don't know,
don't let Griffin get her on Tinder, okay?
No, right? Yeah. I gotta protect my employees, but like part of me is like, well, fuck, man. She's like talking to like wanting to know more about the podcast. I'm like, nah, you don't want to know about that.
Forget I mentioned it.
Yeah. I work with you every day. You don't want to hear about this.
See the
shit.
side of Andrew and everybody else you don't want.
No, that's right. This is not professional me at work. There's a good reason why I don't talk about my last name on this show.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, 34K and Andrew. That's all you fucking know.
Spoilers, his last name's Johnson.
You shut the fuck up and
Smith Anderson.
all of you.
From Buffalo.
Yeah, from Buffalo. I live in Buffalo, New York. If you're wondering, my name is David, and I'm a cop.
Nice one. Thank you.
And I like Bud Light.
He likes fast food.
And I pee on mulch.
That's right. It almost sounds technical. That works.
To make it grow.
I think Dave from Buffalo has been on a couple times where he's like going through drive-thrus ordering food and stuff.
Oh yeah, remember that whole pizza came and he ate the whole thing?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking destroyed that Domino's.
And it's like
Yeah,
super
that
late
pizza
too,
looked
right?
good.
It's like
He
1 or 2 in the
fucking
morning,
conquered that Domino's.
Yeah. And we were all fucking
And
jealous.
he then I think the same night he did
Every
about
one
30
of us
push-ups
wanted
for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't he go through drive-through once though somewhere?
No, the Burger
Oh, yeah.
Burger
Oh,
King.
more
the
than
Burger
once.
King.
More
Burger
than
King
once.
I thought it was like a wiener schnitzel or something. No.
No, I got a hot dog. I got a hot dog from Burger
Oh,
King.
hot dog. That's why.
Coming back from the casino. They're like, would you like cookies with that? And you guys are like, what the fuck is
He's
this?
like, I'll take 10.
Yeah.
Cookies. That's right.
Hey, Domino's last week, they opened a new Domino's by me, and literally, I'm not kidding, from the time I hit order from the phone, they were at the door in 20 minutes.
God damn. That's like the old Domino's, like 30 minutes or less used to be the old thing.
Or you get it free. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Two nights in a row. 2 nights in a row, I was at my neighbor's drinking, and they were literally there in like 20 minutes.
Oh.
It was insane. It was like lava hot. It was like, oh.
Yeah, they got rid of that half hour speed
Yeah.
limit. People were driving through red light and shit.
Yeah.
And accidents.
Yeah. 30 minutes are free.
Gotta get it there. My boss is gonna kick my ass.
So there's a very, very slim chance I may actually get one of my employees out to Grinkers this year. Very slim. But she apparently wants to come out and meet you guys, so I'm just saying.
Does she have to drive through Wyoming?
I don't know.
Would Zhao consider her cute?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
I am not going to talk about this on air.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All right, let's close the show.
Yeah, because now the fun begins. No, I'm just kidding.
My employees are asexual, non-sexual.
I know. That goes without saying.
That's not. Yeah, we don't cross that line.
No, they procreate on their own.
I'm drunk enough, but I'm not crossing that shit.
No, you gotta play the manager role.
Yeah. You're not commanding those missiles.
You know what I like was when I could make a 3-story tower with my Bud Lights on this.
Did you say Eiffel Tower?
Hey man, goals. Yeah, achieve them. You can do anything you want in life, Dave.
With enough
you
Bud
make
Lights.
A 3-tier Bud Light empty can tower.
That happened. That totally happened.
Can you see her?
Look at I see her foot too.
That's about 12 cans worth there, it looks like.
10.
No, it's
10
cans. What is it? 4, 5, 6, 7. It's only 7.
A fucking 10.
That's weak.
Gold.
10.
I get another one.
That a boy. Let's go on. Let's get the shit off.
Yeah.
I can't speak fluid sentences anymore. Let's just cancel this.
What are you drinking today, Jim?
I had 2 Manhattans and my second Oktoberfest Sam Adams.
Oh, nice. Is that good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I had 2 drinks at volleyball earlier too. I forgot about those. But I had some tots and sloppy joes. Yeah.
But those don't count because he drove home.
You know, my daughter turned 21 yesterday.
Oh no!
And
when are you gonna bring her?
Now you can send her out to get you drinks.
And we went to. She wanted to go to a bar, like a restaurant bar.
Candy is candy, but liquor is quicker.
We went to the Belching Beaver.
Brewery.
Yeah, and they have
took
like
your
a
daughter
restaurant.
to the.
That's what she wanted to do. And it was like all her friends, you know, and
you're like, oh, it's a pussy
members.
fart.
So Patty put the card down for a tab and just happy hour. So yeah, that was pretty fun. But yeah, Belching Beaver has like some pretty crazy flavors though.
Say it again, because Jim. I want to see Jim's face.
What? Belching Beaver?
No, Andrew, you gotta follow it up with that.
Oh.
It's a queefer.
It's a queefer.
The queefer. She's queefing,
Yeah.
Peter.
I'm probably gonna take my son when he's 21 to the local brewery, the
He's
Spurting
gonna
Wiener.
queef too. No.
What's it called?
The Spurting Wiener.
We need to get those together to make a fucking compilation here.
Oh my
The
god.
Squirting Wiener and the Belching Beaver.
Wait. All right, Gak. What's your oldest son? How old is he?
17. He'll be 18 in March. So 17 and a half.
How many times have you gotten him
drunk?
drunk?
Your son were reversed in age.
No, I thought his kid was like 17, like 3 years ago.
Yeah, my kids are both.
Bring him up here for Vancouver 2019.
Right.
He's already 19.
Yeah.
Dude, 19 Canadian strip bars. Good call. Good call.
There you go. Right.
All right. I want to learn the lick it and stick it.
So
Yeah.
So you guys don't have Belching Beaver out there, that beer?
No.
We get them here in Northern California. Yeah,
I like. They have this one beer called Miso Honey.
Drink you a long time.
Yeah.
What was? I can't remember the name of them, but Super Stearns, Dave. He brought over like $4 or $5 to your house, Andrew, in Denver.
He did, yeah.
And they
They're
all
all
had
local.
like double
yeah, the
entendre
names,
type.
yeah.
The furry
funny
beaver.
names.
They had all these names like that. Yeah.
Hairy Beaver and yeah.
Pucker Push.
She doesn't shave her pits IPA. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah. I'm sure maybe we can bring some of that shit out to Grinkers. What's the point of bringing drinks to Grinkers, though?
I know.
No,
True.
yeah, there's no point.
Except pancake shots.
We'll have pancake shots, but that's a morning drink. That's like a Bloody Mary.
Are we gonna
Yeah.
drink that in
Gets a big one.
the whatever you eat
lobby?
breakfast in the lobby? I can't think of that.
Yeah, we'll meet in the
hotel
lobby. We'll meet in the lobby with a pint of fucking
Bobby.
pancake shots.
Well, there's orange juice in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
A little vitamin C to get the day started.
Right.
So,
Although,
Dave,
yeah,
are
I'll
you
tell you what.
sharing a room, Dave, with Leo? Or you
Cheap
guys-
Sneak himself.
Yeah.
Don't let him eat 23 for 32 to
36
chicken wing. 36
hot
chicken
wings.
wings.
Wait, what? We learned something new about Leo in Denver.
That dude starts farting, man.
Oh, dude, I
He's
got great
like-
Leo
Things
story.
just melt around you.
When we're off
They do.
air, I'll tell you a great Leo story. And then I shouldn't even
Let's
tell
get
it
the
Leo's
fuck
not
off
here.
air already.
All right, let's shut this down because, it's
We got things to talk about, like
Well,
Cheap Sneaks.
we had a lot of people on tonight, actually.
Yeah, we did.
So thank you
and
all for
as
coming on.
usual, just join us. We're gonna go off air and talk about shit,
Yeah.
but
Join
join
me
us.
and together.
why aren't you on the show with us? You should know.
Yeah,
Brian,
Frober,
Probably 'cause the room's
somehow
full.
we need to get Frober the sign in
Oh,
so he
nice.
can hang out with us all night live.
seriously, Brian, you have the
He's
same.
earned his drinks.
You're way overdue to do this, dude. It's time.
Yeah,
And,
you're not the only fat guy, all right?
And
I'm working on
and then
it.
we had Mule and Luop, and I think he might have been new tonight. Xed, XED.
XD, no, he's from here.
Okay. He's been in the chat before? I don't remember seeing him. Okay.
He's bringing gifts.
Yeah, that's awesome. Looking forward to chatting with Ken. So, who else did we have on? We had Luop, Frober, Mule. I don't know. I'm not going to scroll up too far.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I thought.
Arts and craft with Jack.
Yeah, that guy.
That's that guy.
55.
Back at the
There was
beginning,
like
we
an
had,
arcade something. Somebody was there.
Jack Lick joined
Oh,
up.
Jack Lick, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
I still
saw
have
coming out.
You know what? I have a memo on my phone. I have a memo app, and I have not found it in me to delete. It says Jason parentheses Jack Lick and his phone number, and that was because of Brofest.
What's his phone number?
It
Yeah,
is
I'm just kidding.
911. That's from Brofest 2 years ago because of his eyes cabinet. He's like, you got to call me when I get there. And so, but I have not found it in me to delete that because it's like a nostalgia. It's like, oh yeah.
So
we had,
Wally's Arcade, that's
Wally's
what I was
Arcade.
thinking of.
Yep.
And Nashville and Clint, he was in
And
there.
of course,
with us.
our pal Gus, who's also been a
Yes,
long-
Gus.
Gus.
Gus needs to make it out to Grinkers at some point.
and Clint was in our chat.
Oh yeah.
And Steve Bart.
Seabart.
Seabart,
Awesome.
one of our founding.
All right, guys. So
So,
Steve, thank you for joining us again tonight. Jimbo said he was going to have his arcade on if you came on tonight. He sort of did. You had your
Did I say that? Shit, I must have been
We didn't
wasted.
even talk about your hang on. Come on, dude.
Yeah, you had your hang
I
on
didn't-
sort of on.
That's right. We
There,
can talk
yeah.
about it off air. It's not a big deal.
Well, we'll do
No,
more
we-
in depth next week. All right, Jimbo?
Next
There we
week,
go.
we're gonna do a feature with Jim and his hang on.
There we go.
It might be done by then. I'll give you that.
There you go.
Nice.
Then
It
you'll
might be
do
in the
Toki.
lineup. And then it's on to Toki because of Mock.
And the weather's
Mock's
finally getting a
motivated
little
me.
bit cooler where I'm at, so I might try to do a couple in my garage
Nice.
now that it's not so freaking hot out there. So sweet. All right, guys. Well, thanks to everybody for coming on, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. And
Toodles.
Very
So
soon.
long. Farewell.
Yeah, bye everybody.
Yeah. Buffett.
What's up?
Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent you.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, Indiana Jones.
Ah, Jimbo, you got the best outros.
That was a good